Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Apex Overwatch Season 3. Now time for the matchup that you've all been waiting for. Of course, BK Stars taking on EnVyUs. EnVyUs need to make sure that they win at least 2 maps tonight to lock in that first position. And if they don't, it's likely that Meta Athena are going to be able to overtake. So this means a whole heck of a lot. I am still Atlas, still joined by Wolf. And Wolf, what do you make of this series?
Well, I feel like this series is definitely going to be a lot better than the last one. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but even the Lunatic High coach extensively posted and talked about on his stream that he was very much sure this is going to be a close series, not going to be the stomp that we saw from EnVyUs against Rhinos Gaming Wings. So, I mean, this is definitely, I feel like when you look at how this series is going to go, a lot of it's going to come down to the Tracer battle, right? It's going to be the battle between Effect and Buddy. Both players almost purely Tracer in terms of heroes they've played, so they're both very aggressive Tracers too. When you look at the match between Rhinos Gaming Wings and EnVyUs, for example, Effect was the aggro Tracer, and Oxo, for example, is the defensive Tracer, which didn't work well for Rhinos at all.
No.
So I think this one we're going to see fireworks. We're going to see a lot of Tracer 1v1s, and they're going to meet in the exact same position to look for those flanks. And whoever dies, man, it's going to change the entire game. If Bunny or Effect dies first, then watch that backline get lit up.
Yep, most certainly. And look, there's going to be a lot of pride on the line as well when it comes to that Tracer battle. Effect and Bunny have been bouncing between each other for top of solo queue very recently as well. So we'll see whether they are going to be able to prove who the best Tracer is here in Korea and whether Effect's going to be able to continue what has been domination of this group. Really, it's been on his back that EnVyUs have been winning most of their matches. It's been phenomenal follow-up as well. Taimu needs a massive shout-out because he can finish off a lot of these kills, but the harassment in the backline is just stunning out of Effect. The fact that he can just completely throw a team off their game plan by just existing on the map is unbelievable.
So as mentioned, obviously, if EnVyUs ends up losing this match, it could create this 2-1 split between all 3 top teams in the group, right? Because this group is actually pretty close. So Meta Athena and BK Stars, assuming Meta Athena is able to defeat Rhinos, which is very likely considering the kind of wins of the group, if you will. So important for EnVyUs to win this one. If they do, of course, they solidify their spot in first place and will get out of the group. And otherwise, a lot of different things could happen. So we'll see. I think they're the big favorites again going into tonight's matchup, but anything could change going forward into this best of 5. This is a match that, to me, it almost feels like there's like the winds of potentially an upset. The last series, we're like, okay, there's a big favorite. There's no way there's going to be an upset. We get the 3-0. This series, you look at it going, okay, probably EnVyUs 3-0, 3-1, but it feels like BK Stars has been improving throughout the season. It feels like there could be an upset tonight.
And it feels like it could also be that rock, paper, scissors type style as well. We know that Meta Athena has never really been that team to opt in for a lot of these dive compositions. They are very much sort of this very controlling type team. EnVyUs loves the dive, loves the DPS at this particular juncture in time, and BK Stars have almost been stubborn in the amount that they just love 2-2-2 dive compositions. Like, that is what they do. They do it well, but they don't do a whole lot else. And will this be the Achilles heel? Because, I mean, I feel like Chips has been able to run rampant in the last couple of matchups we've seen EnVyUs in. So if you can get that dive composition to really throw him off his game, we could have some opportunities for BK Stars to really capitalize and see what this rock, paper, scissors is actually going to show us.
Yeah, Taimu hasn't played the Genji, very often. He's just been playing these hit scan heroes, the Soldier. He's been playing the McCree. And I feel like if Effect dies, because Effect has largely been buying him so much space so far in this group, if Effect dies early and he loses that aim fact, that's what it feels like. His aim is good. So if we see the Effect fall early, the Tracer is no longer able to buy space for Taimu, how well will Taimu deal with this practiced Genji Tracer composition? Will he survive when we suddenly see Carpe flying in with the Dragon Blade or even without it? That's my biggest concern for EnVyUs is their lack of ability to flex onto the Genji so far, because the Effect play on Tracer has been so good for them, and they haven't running into the heavy dive that we're going to see from BK. BK has failed with every other composition. The only time they've been able to take maps, take objectives, take points has really been when they switch back to that dive comp with Bunny on the Tracer and Carpe on the Genji. So dealing with this hyper-practice strategy, EnVyUs, will they be able to deal with that? I think that's kind of going to determine this best of 5 overall.
Yeah, and I feel like as well, I mean, EnVyUs will know exactly what BK Stars is going to be throwing at them here. They would have had time to study this team. They know what's going to happen. And do they have the strategy in place in order to make that one work for themselves? We'll have to find out, because I'm, look, a little bit worried because I feel like this could be that rock, paper, scissors coming out and really striking back onto EnVyUs. EnVyUs probably now feeling like they're relatively solid towards that top spot with their 2-0 scoreline so far as matches are concerned. But maybe they don't know quite how much is on the line now, because it's likely that if they do lose this, anything other than a 3-2, that they could just be going straight home, and we won't be able to see any of the Western teams here moving into the round of 8, which would be very, very sad. And EnVyUs' start was so, so good. We are going to hear from the players very, very soon, Wolf, and we'll see exactly what kind of smack talk has been going down, because both of these teams, I feel like it will be revolving around this tracer play between Bunny and, of course, Effect. Let's hear.
이펙트와 타이머 선수를 필두로 한 EnVyUs 귀가 막힌 기량을 보여주면서 지난번보다 오늘 더 잘하네요.
Winning is always very good. I don't think right now is like one of the best team in this tournament, so that's why we win. I think we do better.
라이너스가 메타에 적응을 많이 못한 것 같아요. 저희는 쉬지 않고 계속 달려온 팀이기 때문에 98% 완성은 된 것 같아서 힘을 훨씬 많이 받는 것 같아요. EnVyUs는 복수죠.
겐지 노리러 가다 죽을 수도 있죠. 맞았어요. 이런 상황에서 겐지를 본다고요? 이거! 머리 조심, 머리 조심. 안 된다, 이러다.
타이머 선수는 뭐 위도우는 잘하는데 다른 거는 좀 많이 못하는 것 같아요.
Are you really gonna revenge us? I don't think you can. I didn't watch any BK stars. I don't even remember that. I'm not kidding. You said that Korean is getting better, right? And now we have Korean in the team. FA2!
팀 없는 사람들 중에 트레이서 딱히 잘하는 사람이 없어서 이펙트님을 영입한 것 같아요. 저희는 환영이죠. 뭐 레벨링이 잘 된 건 모르겠고 이펙트님 트레이서는 그렇게 하는 게 아니에요.
If we compare to Effect, Bunny is here, Effect there. Oh, not even can see Effect. I think he's good tracer, but just good. Bunny, 당근.
박수 칠 때 떠나셔야 됐었어요. 저희의 겐지와 트레이서가 더 잘하기 때문에 충분히 이길 수 있을 것 같아요. 타이머 형님 뒤통수 조심하세요.
No matter what group we are, we're gonna be in the final. Prepare to get there again. Bunny, I will make you into a meme.
So Mickey is going to make Bunny into a meme, and I actually really love that it's Mickey that's saying that, because I feel like he's going to be the one that has to stop Bunny from destroying the backline of EnVyUs this match.
Absolutely. That's going to be the story, and you could tell both of these players in that interview were very much focused on the fact that BK Stars has that crazy backline dive, and BK Stars is looking for revenge. They lost to EnVyUs last time they faced each other, and this time EnVyUs looks to be an even stronger force. They're back to full form, and for BK Stars, it's a strength, I feel, but it's also a weakness. It's a double-edged sword that they have such a great Genji Tracer play. They're so good at this dive, but the weakness, of course, is that they've shown it so much, they don't run hardly anything else.
Yeah.
And when they have tried to flex off of it, they've failed really hard. So EnVyUs needs to be very cognizant of that, but at the same time, because they are, you feel like there's definitely going to be some prepared strategies in order to deal with this. They prepared positioning-wise. And again, it's going to be Mickey who really helps deal with Bunny when he comes around the back with the Tracer.
Well, I'm not sure whether it's going to be enough, because I think you need more than one strategy, especially where the meta is at the moment, Wolf. Like, if you can't play these interesting triple support compositions, if you don't have the ability to flex yourself around to capitalize on all of the advantages you can get from a lot of these maps, then you're not going to be able to find consistent victories. BK Stars have shown that. I mean, they lost to Meta Athena. Meta Athena looked very, very good in that series. Able, of course, to get their first win this particular season. However, is it going to be enough to grab the top spot away from EnVyUs?
The fan favorites here again, and keep in mind the fan favorites on Korean soil here domestically. It's always very, it feels like you can feel the energy of this team when you look at Mickey and Taimo, always on the edge of the booth, always so happy, so hyped. And the longer the series goes on, you can feel the momentum rising for EnVyUs. I mean, you go back and watch the series against Meta Athena, it started there, and it just continued onwards and onwards. So Kaikai's still listed as a substitute player, but we've been seeing him come in for the tactical pauses, been giving some extra tactical advice.
Yeah, more of an analyst slash coach. Yeah, for these guys.
So EnVyUs, again, the favorites tonight, but I feel like they've had a pretty easy group with Effect really showing up. And he started off a little bit weaker in the Meta Athena series, looked really strong against Rhinos, and now he's facing the strongest Tracer he's going to have to face this group. And also, they're going to have to deal with this dive comp that's the most practiced in this group as well. The one-trick dive, you could really argue, for BK Stars.
Most certainly. And look, we'll see whether Effect is going to be able to prove himself, because he's probably been looking forward to this series. Against Bunny, can finally say definitively that he's gone up against the best and has been able to take them down. But we'll see whether he actually can. As you can see, Bunny, he's the one that's been flexing around Effect. Nuh-uh.
Well, if you compare time actually on Heroes spent, Bunny's 2 hours and 4 minutes on Tracer, 1 minute on the Roadhog. So
okay, so
he flexed it one time for a second, but it's really just shown this way. Whereas Taimu has been playing both the Soldier and the McCree quite a bit. That's a real flex. Carpe played 5 other heroes, if I'm not mistaken, all of them for less than a minute and a half, as he is just only playing the Genji right now.
All about that Genji.
Bernard has actually shown the most flexibility, I would say, on BK Stars, playing the Soldier and the Diva amongst other heroes. So Tarpon used to be kind of the one-trick Roadhog before joining this team, and now he's been playing almost purely the Winston. Fits this team, fits the composition, and a lot of people have been critical of how when he plays Reinhardt he looks really weak, but I think part of that is because he plays a Reinhardt with his dive comp. It's not really designed to work together, whereas the Winston really synergizes with that Tracer, with that Genji dive.
That is sort of like the bread and butter dive composition. Certainly going to need that. Bit of a shout out to Bernard. He was a fantastic Zarya player, but has completely forgone that this season, opting in for more of those triple tank possible compositions, as well as that Diva you can certainly see him picking up. As Twinkle has played 100% Lucio forever.
Forever and ever.
Literally never played anything else, apart from maybe like one game on Mercy.
Because Mickey and Effect are so good at buying space for chips, he's actually gotten several kills. If you look at his KDA, when you go back in the stat screens, you take a look at like Winston's Labs, for example, he looks so powerful because he's given so much space to work with, and his accuracy is on point, especially on the Sombra. We're going to Oasis.
Back to Oasis. Finally, we're comfortable again, Wolf. Seems like every second control is Oasis, and of course, this is done basically, it's control roulette. Is how we start off every single series. It's all done by chance, and Oasis just seems like there's some loaded dice up in here. Is McCree the one choosing these? I don't know what's going on.
Well, we'll see. We'll probably see a lot of Taimu McCree on University on Oasis. We'll see exactly what points we get. And, just try to do what I can.
Yeah.
This is a map that BK Stars has historically struggled on, so already kind of a boon for EnVyUs in terms of map statistics in Apex.
Yeah, look at Chips, actually. He had a smirk on his face. He was ready. Like, oh, yeah, Oasis. This is where I belong. And we know University, Sombra heaven, my friend. Most certainly an opportunity for him to get that flex action happening. But let's do it. Let's hop into our very first game of EnVyUs versus BK Stars. Oh, EnVyUs fans turning up in force this evening, Wolf.
Indeed. For good reason. They have come out of the gates dominant, beating the big favorites, Meta Athena, and so much history on the line, obviously, as these two have faced each other in Apex before in the group stage. And obviously, BK Stars did take the one map, but EnVyUs looked dominant. So, as was said in the interview, it's about revenge for BK Stars. But not only that, a win here would definitely obviously give them a chance to get out of the group. A loss would be pretty detrimental. So, as we go into this one, looks to be the pharmacy comps on both sides, obviously, for how this map is played.
Yep, Bernard going to be the one flexing on over onto that one. Carpe on the Soldier this time around, so not starting things off on his Genji. Taimu already taken out. Carpe, you can see exactly why he's not on the Genji right now. He's on Pharah duty.
This is the triple DPS we've seen actually on attack, sometimes even on Numbani with the Soldier coming in here. So already some flex from Carpe onto this Soldier, and it's worked out very well for them to start as they take control of this point first. They will get the first cap, which, as we've talked about so many times, is very important because of the defender's advantage. And it's working really well to counter this Pharmacy from EnVyUs. Taking out time already. You can tell he's frustrated with this one.
All too easy from Carpe. That looked just stunning. And the burst fire as well, making sure he maximizes that accuracy. Just perfect Soldier play. And this is another guy that people have been talking about as far as dominating competitive Overwatch at the moment.
Yeah, and when you see Carpe finally have this successful plex onto the Soldier, that's when you are, if on EnVyUs side, are thinking, okay, it's probably time to swap. I'm going to put Taimu back in on the Soldier now, switching off of that Pharah. Already Bunny picking up a double, though. Gets the kill onto Effect off screen. This is again paired with Bernard's DPS, and this is looking like it might be
a triple. He takes down Harry Hawk. That's a quadra as Chips is going to fall as well. Look at him having the time of his life.
That he is, and Alarm has a res, didn't have to use it for the hold here, and they already have built up 50% of the meter. They're going to have 6 ults soon. Time was just struggling to get his ult up here. They can't even get in. Struggling in the 1v1 against Carpe at long range. Bunny looking for the sneak tactic, nearly picks off Effect.
Oh man, and it's just looking like EnVyUs are all over the place right now. 60% already built up. Plenty of time for EnVyUs to get themselves back on that point, and they do have ultimates building, but nowhere near the amount in the bank.
So many ults available defensively here for BK. So
Yeah,
nice, though.
exactly.
Chips gets the pick onto Bunny. They're going to need more than that, though, to get the retake. And even if they do, 6 ults available. We see the res come out from Alarm. 6-man up for BK Stars now, 80%.
Oh, Carpe looking so good as he takes down Taimu as well. Now on the high ground, pops himself down. Primal Rage is here on the side of EnVyUs. Coco just wants to try and contest this point, but it's still ticking up. And BK Stars, they don't need to use any resources. It's just Alarm with the res. It's all they invest.
They're going to have to use so much EnVyUs will in order to retake this point. It's all going to be about that Taimu tack visor coming over. Mickey can use the self-destruct for the initiate. So the Effect going to come in. The sound barrier goes off already defensively here. Here's that tack visor.
Yeah, Taimu has to get through so many shields, though, as once again you've got Bernard. He keeps himself safe off to the back end. Chips takes down Carpe, though, and Coco gets his opposite half in Tarpon. An opportunity now with the sound barrier boosting them up as well. Taimu just backhands Twinkle. And this could be the recap in overtime for EnVyUs. They do get it.
It's so important that they really only had to use the tack visor for this, and the sound barrier, of course, because without those, with everything else being used, if they had to use the self-destruct going in there as well as like a Transcendence, then BK Stars would have this massive retake. BK Stars, though, they realized that this was going to be a retake, and so they held on to most of their ults. Alarm's going to have that res in a second. As they look for the retake, they're going to try to pair these together, waiting for that res now. Effect fails to get the pick here onto Tarpon and will die for it. This is an opportunity for the retake now.
Yeah, Bunny's going to be able to grab that one. Bernard is going to fall, though, in answer as Bunny takes down Taimu. This guy is just going ballistic on the Tracer. Just not a whole lot of opportunities. All of the ultimates have now been used, though, as EnVyUs still holding on to this point. But no, it's been switched over. BK Stars looking to grab this as overtime ticks back down. Sole possession now for BK Stars, and that was a dominant first round on Gardens.
The reason why they were able to take that first point to get that huge ult advantage in the first place was because of Carpe's flex onto the Soldier, the triple DPS that allowed them to knock Taimu out of the sky. Taimu tried yet again for a second push with the Pharmacy comp, then had to switch, so they already had a weakness in terms of ult. So we saw the good res coming out as Bernard actually continued to find value on the Pharah. We talked about this earlier on Ilios today, where if you have a good Tracer paired with a strong Pharah player, you take full control of the ground. And EnVyUs, when they finally took it back, they just were down on ult so hard. So kind of feels like a bit of a counter coming out with Carpe not playing his normal Genji, playing the Soldier, countering that Pharmacy. They expected to see good preparation here from BK Stars.
Yeah, I liked it, and this is something that we actually heard about. It's the fact that EnVyUs do like playing the Widowmaker here on Oasis sometimes, and this could bring back some bad memories for BK Stars.
Yeah, this is going to be, we'll look to see, obviously the picks we saw in that highlight clip with Taimu killing Bunny with snipes mid-air.
Yep. Complete flicks all the way around as well, just beautiful, but does need to be careful now as Bunny's going to be looking for him.
Okay, looking for the big, instantly sniped there. Now he knows where he is at least. Gonna try to go and isolate him. This time Taimu's unable to find him.
But first, cap is going to go to EnVyUs here, so already with some control, and Harry Hook's going to be able to pick up one kill. Carpe can't actually do anything as he's on the Genji now, and Alarm switching over to the Soldier, but there are kills traded everywhere. Bunny keeping himself alive.
Okay, Effect does pick up the double here, and I think that will be the first cap, or rather the take.
Make it a triple.
The hold for EnVyUs on this first cap. So building up quite a few ults as well, and Taimu making this Widowmaker pick very viable. And with all the walls in this point, it feels like it's putting a square peg into a round hole, but he makes it work, man.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of space to work with, but when he does get the angle, it's hard to punish him too, because he's so flexible in his positioning. It's hard to spot him, right? He keeps repositioning.
Oh, and Carpe didn't have the reflect in time. Easy headshot there by Taimu. Felt like Carpe was trying to go for some sort of reflect bait, but just overthought himself.
Definitely the case. Well, Effect here just kind of bodyguarding Taimu.
Carpe
Carpe comes to match him, though.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the manner of play. It's like, well, you're going to snipe me, I'm just going to switch over to Widow and snipe you. And he's going to stick to it as well. Now looking for some picks.
Hey.
Finds a couple.
Very similar to how the Pharaoh works in terms of sniping here. You work a target down low, then Bunny gets the finishing off kills.
EnVyUs doing a bunch of work, though. You see Mickey grabbing both of the support kills on the side of BK Stars. Effect takes down Bunny, and we know that Effect takes a while to start up. His first map, not ever his best, and then is able to take down Bunny in the 1v1. Nicely done. Side of EnVyUs.
Looking for more. He's about to have a pulse bomb here. Going to try to get the pick onto the Zenyatta here. Looking for Alarm specifically. Coming around the backside now. Already, though, found by Bernard. Sound barriers popped early here as Taimu gets a pick onto Carpe.
Yeah, I like it. And that was a very, very dangerous use of the sound barrier.
Very
EnVyUs
early.
going to throw down their own. Yeah, exactly right. So they're not going to have that one available. Alarm didn't have Transcendence, but is going to have it right now. Can utilize it if he wants. Does so immediately to try and take this point back. But you can see EnVyUs, they're the ones with 99%. There is 0 on the side of BK Stars. Coco grabs himself a double as Tapon takes down Mickey.
Taimu is actually missing quite a few shots here, unfortunately, but there's still hold on. Bunny gets the double here, though, taking Taimu out.
Yeah, that pulse bomb did a whole bunch of work, and Chips is then going to fall as Carpe finds his head. Should be the retake. The BK Stars in overtime. They do get it.
Surprised Carpe is so willing to stick with this Widowmaker, as obviously for BK Stars is not as practiced of a composition. It felt like you could feel the rivalry between these teams as Carpe said, I've had enough, I'm going to shut down Taimu's Widow. He did so once, and that was it helped them take the point here, but I feel like Taimu has definitely been the better Widow so far.
Oh, wall hacks not quite paying off. His effect was seen but not destroyed.
Okay, Taimu again on the Widow doing a better job as he helps get the pick onto Alarm. Effect gets a pick onto Tarpon too with the pulse. And
oh, that's the double from Taimu as well. Really making it look good.
And Effect now with so much extra room to work with those early picks. The self-destruct going in here to help secure this. Overtime taken down. It looks like EnVyUs is going to tie this one up 1-1.
And Bunny was nowhere near that point as well. You can see Effect putting so much pressure on him. So 1-1 now on Oasis. We will be going to University. We'll see what Chips is going to do. Whether he's going to hop over onto that Sombra once again.
And Carpe on the Widowmaker, in one way, it feels like, speaking of his confidence in the 1v1 versus Taimu, right? I want to take him out, I want to remove him, but after that he wasn't able to do anything else. Taimu's not there to kill a Widowmaker, he's there to kill the other members of the team, right? And I feel like it was almost a lack of confidence on his Genji against Taimu's Widow. If he had switched back to the Genji with the dive comp they had, all the pairings to have good Dragon Blades, especially versus the Widow comp that EnVyUs was running, I feel like it would have done way more for them. Sticking with the Genji this time, at least to start, and I'm a little bit happier about it. We're going to see Alarm actually on the Sobra.
Yeah,
Chips
the Hyperflex. Of course, Alarm going for a support play, but we spoke about this. The pseudo-support utility DPS of the Sombra working out.
Gets that first hack as Coco's going to play Ryan here as Taimu actually goes to that Roadhog. Gets the pick already onto Tarpon. So much tank busting with the right clicks coming out. Fortunately misses the hug.
First blood to be gleaned by EnVyUs, though. Should mean first cap for this side when they unlock. Is Coco grabbing one? Oh!
Now this triple tank for EnVyUs feels like old times. Feels like EnVyUs at MLG Vegas.
Oh, time.
Oh, sad days.
Just catches him out of the air. That looked terrifying. Imagine if you were the little baby diva facing down the fat Australian guy. Looks like he's a murderer.
You know, in the time between Season 1 and Season 2, where we had a lot of Western tournaments, this was the meta, is to run kind of the triple tank, the solo DPS, often the Soldier, sometimes the Tracer. And EnVyUs just knows this style very well because it was super meta. It's actually one of the strengths how they won Vegas. And they're looking good on it here on Oasis. Carpe, though, going to get the pick on the chips.
Really nice setup there from Alarm as well, as he's going to try and translocate his way out. Gets the invisibility as well, but EnVyUs on the backside actually tearing everyone up. Carpe gets an answering kill, but it is not enough.
The worst possible time to use that Dragon Blade after his teammates were gone. No parrying, no shield coming off, no sound barrier, no transcendence. Just using it alone after 2 teammates were already dead. That's a wasted Dragon Blade. And that's more ults they're going to have to build to try to retake this for EnVyUs, who already has the advantage in terms of ult economy.
Oh, and it was so much finesse as well built up, like Alarm setting up that kill really nicely for Carpe, gets the reset, can get himself out. But then they all just decide to pull a trigger that they didn't need to pull, and EnVyUs capitalized. EMP from Alarm off to the backside, but Taimu, he's going to grab the kill onto Bunny all too easily.
And imagine if those are Dragon Blade with this EMP. There's not. Here comes the reverse Earth Shatter now. And somehow that D.Va mech does get away. Carpe and Bernard just going to reset here. But if there was a Dragon Blade with that EMP, that was the moment. That was the opportunity wasted because he used it early on. He was too trigger happy, I suppose. And now EnVyUs has the ult advantage, and they have Defender's advantage here as well. 10% left to go. BK Stars has nothing but a sound barrier to work with for this push. They're going to have to make it work right here, right now. Taimu already looking for the flank.
Yeah, Bernard actually switching over to his Zarya. Gets caught out. This Taimu has to be a bit careful, but it just doesn't matter. Distracted them for long enough, and the 2-1 victory on Control goes over to EnVyUs. Reverse swept, theoretically, in this best-of-3 scenario, but that first map looked so good from BK Stars. I think we've got a series on our hands, Wolf.
I definitely think so. Clearly, in terms of strategy, I mean, it takes a lot to make Taimu frown in Apex, right?
I don't think he ever will.
Well,
He's always got a grin on his face.
He only frowned.
He looked somewhat concerned, I believe, is what you call it.
Sure. He only looked concerned or frowning when the Carpe Flex came out. We saw the triple DPS, which blind countered the Pharmacy Cop, who so importantly got that first pick. Momentum was completely in the favor of BK Stars on that first point. But then we saw Carpe's flexibility into the Widowmaker be more of a liability than a strength. And then in that third map, the old triple tank coming out with the solo DPS Tracer, so much heals. And, Monte Cristo made the joke, best hooker in Vegas. That was what we saw, man, from back in MLG. Feels very reminiscent of that time period. They're bringing it in. We're going to see this play of the game. It's Taimu, actually, on the Soldier this time, not the Roadhog we were talking about.
Yeah, back over onto Garden.
Look at that. Knocking him out of the sky. So, I mean, this was a showcasing of Taimu's skill on DPS as well as tank, the hook accuracy on University, and we saw one really good EMP basically all round long on that third round, and it would have been amazing if Carpe had held onto that Dragon Blade.
I know, and he managed to get the kill without using the Dragon Blade. Then it's like all blood rushed to his head. He's like, yes, now I can use the Dragon Blade. Oh, wait, all my team is now dead because we got the flank and they're just so incredibly tanky. Going to melee range against the Reinhardt, against everything. Mickey on the D.Va there as well just seemed too dangerous. Compositionally, EnVyUs really making it work on University, and it's such a flexible map pick. I love it. And they just chose right first time around. And we were talking about this before. I mean, flexibility is something that EnVyUs have the advantage of in this series, and it's beautiful to see them utilizing that in Control.
I feel like it's good already. It's a good sign that BK Stars came so prepared, had the ability to put Carpe on Oasis, which they couldn't have even known was going to be the map. So that's a good sign, but we're going to Hollywood now.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of flexibility, Wolf, certainly an opportunity, but it is going to be picked up by BK Stars. They do have a plan. And look, if it is, like, let's just play more 2-2-2 dive, like, you can do that. However, it has been noted that there are certainly counters to it. And I believe it was Lunatic High that first brought out the triple support that really put a stopper to it. We saw fantastic things like the Orisa plus the Torbjorn to great effect on Hollywood.
You know, I feel like Effects Tracer on attack here is incredible. You know, that's what I'm most worried about. If they want to run the Reinhardt composition here, put Tarpon on the Rein, we saw Effect demolish both Umte of course, and Changshik on this map, just getting around, dropping those pulse pops.
Well, we'll see exactly how it is going to go down as we move over to Hollywood for map number 2, BK Stars versus EnVyUs.
I get it.
Well, BK Stars really raising their voices here as we move to hybrid, trying to get behind who are the underdogs so far in this series. Certainly didn't feel like it on Gardens when we were in Oasis, but the last 2 points were pretty EnVyUs biased, I have to say.
A little worrisome that BK Stars, this is their worst map type by far in recent Apex history. We'll see what they want to run here on the attack, as it looks like Taimu is at least
He's just trying to hack
Sombra.
everything, man. He's like he's a hack DJ right now.
It's sad. You can't hack before it starts, so you want to get that hack right as soon as
Are
the
there
map
any
starts.
turntables on any of these maps? Because I kind of want to do this.
Well, you got to ask Lucio about that one, I suppose.
Ah, okay, that's probably a good point. Next time I'm having a chat with him, I'll
we
ask.
have Mickey on the Torbjorn, Taimu on the Sombra. So it is going to be Mickey flexing over the Torbjorn. It's going to be Harry Hook once again switching over to the Soldier. Now you might be surprised by this if you've only been watching Season 3, but Harry Hook used to be the Soldier main when Soldier became meta, and he's going to provide a little bit of extra healing here. So it's not just the solo chips and the support. And this is definitely going to be something that will confuse BK Stars as they move around the point.
This is so similar to that Rhino's composition with the quad DPS. Now with a little bit of pseudo support utility.
Yeah.
In both the Sombra and the Soldier. I really, really like this idea as Bunny's going to come around the side, but he's going to notice there is a cute little turret.
Yeah, they want to try to dive this, but Coco's already in position to protect it. More
Nah.
mobile than in Orisa in this case.
D-Mech completely. Taimu's going to throw that massive clip.
Yeah,
into
no doubt,
that machine.
No doubt he got the hack to prevent the defense matrix as
Oh,
well.
cute
Sleep
little
dart
sleep.
too.
Oh, man.
Well, this is, let's see what BK Stars is going to do while they regroup and get ready for this. Taimu just harassing to get the faster EMP.
And the switch is going to come in. We've got the triple tank now from BK Stars. They're going to see whether this is going to work with the McCree coming out from Carpe. So a little bit more range.
Yeah, and against a well-protected turret like this, obviously Tracer's going to have a hard time because the turret will just track her down. So I like this, switching Bunny over to that Roadhog, and they're going to try to go for this kind of high ground push around the backside to break the turret first. And EnVyUs is very much aware of this.
Yeah, the fact just building up ult charge here as well. That pulse bomb going to be useful if they decide to go for this sort of attack. And
Tarpon.
90% already built up.
Tarpon's alone here. Yeah, this is already getting harassed so much by effect. We see him try to drop the pulse bomb down. He does get blocked.
Yep, Taimu doing a lot of work though, as it's going to be Coco taking down Tarpon. Harry Hook here up on this high ground. Carpe in trouble. Takvise is going to be here, and he's got a lot of targets in his sights, potentially. But too many shields available. Doesn't want to throw that one down just yet.
Okay, Sound Barrier coming up. BK Stars want to make this the push. This is it. Harry does get knocked out.
Oh, God, no. Carpe is going to be able to pick up the kill. No tack visor to be utilized. But Mickey still has his ultimate.
Effect with a double, though. Will this be enough to turn the tides? Carpe is going to be very vulnerable to him. Nice stun! Very well done. That was so critical. If he goes down, perhaps EnVyUs gets the hold.
Well, Mickey says no. He's got the Molten Core. And his turret is still alive.
Yeah, they had the turret stayed up. Harry Hook respawned and came back. Gets the Helix kills despite Carpe's incredible reaction time there. That was split second on that stun. Star Sense there. But they don't get the cap. 130 left here.
Well, Deadeye's still up, and Mickey's got a lot of charge to get that Molten Core back available again. We know how incredibly useful that ultimate is to hold these points.
Could see the nano-boosted Rhine, though, and Taimu does have the EMP. Coco's so close to that Earth Shatter. Here comes the potential EMP from the high ground. Look for the pick without it.
Doesn't even matter. Just shoots him in the head. That's how you do it. You bait them, and you say, well, I could EMP you, but no, I've also got a gun.
I'm also good at tracking, and forgot Harry Hook could play Soldier too,
some
man.
could say that it was beautiful tracking, Wolf. I'm not entirely sure who would have said that.
Yeah,
It has been said in the past.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, on the grapevine, I believe.
So Tarpon does have the Earth Shatter. Looks like they want to try to make this high ground drop down push work, but they don't know about Timer. They don't know he's there. And here he comes for the EMP. Doesn't drop it. Doesn't need it yet. Wants to wait for the big commitment.
Well, Bunny's going to be able to take down the turret effect, looking for the stick, but doesn't get it, and the turret is going to fall once again. Carpe takes down Mickey as well. This could be the take opportunity for BK Stars as they get another tick.
Okay, though, Coco does get the kill onto Twinkle. Harry Hook pops the tack visor. Good blocking here from Tarpon, who's super low, but he can't actually force it in. And a lot of this came down to affect massive amount of DPS. He didn't get any picks with the pulse bomb, but he did so much damage. Everyone was dropped down super low on the side of BK Stars. I don't think they're even going to be able to touch this. Okay, Bunny comes in. Will he be able to buy the time? They've got one more shot, and they have that Graviton Surge. But Timer with the EMP
Yeah,
to
there
the
it is.
eye.
Oh my god, the Earth Shatter in there as well. Immediately after the barriers go down, EnVyUs. That was beautiful, just at the right time.
Such good patience. You know, there was an opportunity
That was
there.
like, ba-bam.
I want to talk about
Everyone's stunned.
I want to talk about this one moment where I thought that Taiba was going to drop the EMP. Everyone was on the high ground, and it looked to be the perfect opportunity to do the drop-down Earth Shatter. Instead, he translocated back, and then Effect came in. He dropped the Pulse Bomb, which almost killed everybody. He didn't get a single pick, but he damaged everyone super significantly. The Deadeye was already used at that moment, too, and then the cleanup came in from Harry Hook. His tack visor well-timed. And we're going to watch this EMP one more time. Look at this. Such good judgment. The flank and the Earth Shatter paired with it. It was nasty.
And every shield just destroyed, and they know that everyone's hiding behind that Reinhardt shield. They're doing the Reinhardt dance, as you do. It's like, who's going to drop it? Am I going to be able to get the Earth Shatter? Oh, not sure whether I can. You can't. If you've been EMP'd, you just flat out can't. It was just too easy for EnVyUs at that point. That was everyone stunned and off the point. And at the perfect time for EnVyUs. Nothing could have lined up better, and nothing could have been coordinated better in that particular play.
And you have to question BK Stars choosing Hollywood, a map where we've seen EnVyUs show unique strategies before, flexing Harry Hook onto that Soldier 76 so many different times, so many different unique strategies coming out from EnVyUs on this map. Did they really think this was going to be the map, in their worst map type, they could defeat EnVyUs? The map's not over yet, but that was such a stronghold, such good coordination out of EnVyUs. And BK Stars may now regret this map choice.
Well, they're going for a different strategy here on the side of BK Stars. Sort of that defensive triple support. Something that they've probably been practicing now. We've mentioned that flexibility has never really been the wheelhouse of the BK Stars. Can they make the triple support work is the question.
Yeah, this is pretty much never really run by them. Only in scrims, I imagine, not in Apex. Taimu looking for the scout here, wants to scout at the comp and also potentially grab some cheeky headshots. Rumor has it he's been playing it a lot in competitive right now, working on his accuracy.
Yep, doesn't quite find the cheeky pick-off.
Looks for the summon alarm.
Yeah, and actually forcing them all the way back there as well as Carpe flexing over to the Ana. Still most certainly very, very squishy as Effect. Just being frustrating in the backline once again. Barriers going down. Reinhardt's protecting this EnVyUs squad as they're trying to tick this one up. They just need to cap this point and they're going to win. As Taimu's going to fall down. Alarm grabs that with a nicely placed orb. Might buy some time. Chips going down very low. We mentioned that this could be a problem here for EnVyUs. If Bunny can go off in the backline, and this first attack is not going to work out for this team. Taimu switching up immediately. I wonder whether he's actually going to stick with this.
Okay, we've been seeing a lot more of this Roadhog and Sombra play in Apex Challengers. A lot of the Challengers teams have been using this combination where you look for the EMP into the Death Blossom. So this is used mostly on assault maps, not so much on this one, but you can kind of treat this as an assault map considering all they need to do is get about 90% of point A. A unique strategy here is seen only in Challengers so far in Korea. And we'll see if this actually becomes a thing as Taimu's looking to bust up the tanks as well with this to build that Blossom.
Yeah, it does work in a lot of these compositions as Effect once again being frustrating. All the way in the back line. Pulse Bomb comes in, gets himself a stick, but not actually going to... Oh, he does! Bunny actually is going to be able to take down Coco. Harry Hook going to fall as well. Mickey trying to answer. Nice little boot kill onto Bunny as he charges into him. Transcendence forced out here on the side of BK Stars, but it's after two of the picks have gone down. Got a nano boost flying forward, and BK Stars are now answering the pressure that EnVyUs were putting on. Taimu is going to go into Wraith form.
Oh, nice pick
and
there.
grabs the kill. Double, actually.
The crux of this push is the Death Blossom, so he's going to use the EMP together with it. Coco's also about to have the Earth Shatter. It's going to be yet again about that EMP, this time from Chips. See if he can make it happen. He's in good position. Taimu's still doesn't have that Death Blossom yet, though. He needs it. Self-destruct gonna pick off Chips, so that means no EMP for this push. They're gonna have to reset and try it again.
Chips was so close to actually being safe there as the sound barrier comes in from EnVyUs. They're still trying to go for this attack. Coco is so low though.
Perhaps they don't need the EMP. Taimu has that Death Blossom now. The sound barrier bought them a lot of time here for this first push.
He is gonna get booped back though.
Okay, there's the EMP plus the Death Blossom together.
2 kills
That's how you do
already,
it.
but Tarpon is going to be able to take down Taimu before that Death Blossom runs out. Chips grabs another one. They're trying to tick this one up, but you can see the point has not gotten anything thus far on the side of EnVyUs. This attack not quite working. BK Stars, they throw in the Primal Rage, but he is just a monkey in a barrel right now.
Oh, nice block there, too, with the barrier coming up. And they're going to get the ticks up right now. One last ditch
so
attempt
close.
from Bernard. He's the last man standing here. Alarm on the high ground. They want to look for that one last hold. They're so close here, EnVyUs is.
Yeah, good timing on the Transcendence just to try and buy some extra time. There's 44 seconds here, and they're so incredibly close. No real big picks to come in, but there goes Harry Hook. He's going to fall down. Taimu as well. Effect is so incredibly low. Mickey, and it seems like a matter of time that he's going to be taken out. EnVyUs still getting kills back, though, as BK Stars are getting picked off by Effect's damage.
Okay,
Doing
Bunny
so
the last
much
one.
work.
Bunny the last one here to buy time. He gets taken out, and that's going to be the cap. And it feels like, Atlas, we are seeing pieces of EnVyUs' history, showing us the triple tank already on Oasis.
Yeah.
We're seeing the Harry Hook flex on the Sombra, or sorry, on the Soldier there to show us why this team is so good on Hollywood. They've shown unique strategies like this before. The Torbjorn flex for Mickey here. We've seen strategies like this from EnVyUs all over the place, and now even flexing into this more unusual, newer style coming out that we've seen from the challenge teams, bringing in this Death Blossom EMP combo that so many challenge teams are running in Apex, and no doubt that EnVyUs has seen in scrims and learned. Good coordination there.
Their coordination is stunning. I mean, you look back to their defense with the EMP Earth Shatter. That was amazing. Once again, you've got the EMP Death Blossom that got them the picks that they needed to try and hold on to that push, hold on to that point, and then just grab the stragglers trying to run in and stop the overtime. Just felt like it was all too easy from that point. Not quite as clean on the attack, I have to say, and they did manage to get all the way up to almost overtime on the side of BK Stars. But now it's only 2-point capture away from an EnVyUs 3-0 victory,
which would guarantee them first place in this group. So they're on the cusp of it. And it looks to be a rough time for BK Stars. Getting the reverse sweep going to be a big challenge, Atlas.
I do have to say, though, that EnVyUs have secured first place already.
Oh, that's right, with the
they've got 2 map wins. So it doesn't even really matter what BK Stars do right now because EnVyUs have secured it. But we are going to be back with game number 3 after this short break.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
노력은 선수를 만들고 코어 i7 프로세서는 멈추지 않는 파워를 드립니다.
Welcome back to Apex Overwatch Season 3. I'm Atlas, this is Wolf, and we're at set point between EnVyUs and BK Stars. EnVyUs leading 2-0 as we move to 2-point capture. And how do you feel moving on to this map type? Do you think BK Stars can utilize this to make a comeback, Wolf?
I think if they go to Volskaya, there's a good chance. I feel like that's the exciting map that we're going to see if we go there, because EnVyUs could be a problem for BK Stars considering Taimu's incredible Widowmaker, and you and I were talking about this during the break, but Saya player just demolished BK Stars on that point. So that's a little bit scary in terms of 2-point capture for Assault. But it's also scary to play against Chips' Sombra going into Volskaya. The series started off on the capture point map, of course, on Oasis, looking to be, perhaps it's going to be a close best of 5, but after that dominant performance with so many styles and different unique techniques coming out from EnVyUs, the EMP Earth Shatter combo, the Death Blossom, it feels like EnVyUs is just going to run away with this one. Going to Hanamura, though.
Okay, well, it makes sense. We're not going to Temple of Anubis, somewhere BK Stars is certainly going to have nightmares about, but that Volskaya that you were predicting, I thought that Alarm would want to actually bring out his Sombra as well. He looked promising on University when we saw him there, but Hanamura going to be a different one. More difficult to attack, most certainly, but maybe some plans will have been set up here by the BK Stars. The issue that I see, though, is that EnVyUs have so many tools that can be utilized effectively on Hanamura.
Yeah. I also want to point out,
and Mickey has a terrifying look in his eye. And if Mickey has that look in his eye, you know that something's going to go down.
Something's going to go down, man.
Oh.
It could be BK Stars You know that you could tell EnVyUs is most prepared for Volskaya in the games we've seen from them in this group. So at least they avoid that. I think that's probably the better choice. Even though they're afraid of Anubis, Hanamura is kind of the middle ground here for BK Stars in terms of dealing with what we've seen from EnVyUs so far and their weakness to Widowmaker play on Anubis.
Well, we'll see exactly how it is going to work as we move to 2-point capture for potentially the final game of the night. Let's do it.
I get it.
And it looks like the BK Stars fans are getting more and more desperate as the night goes on. That was actually a big cheer for the underdogs in this series, now needing to claw themselves back 3 games in a row in a situation that's actually very, very difficult mentally. Because if BK Stars now reverse sweep, their fate is in the hands of Meta Athena losing to Rhino's Gaming Wings. So this is just... It's so hard mentally to keep yourself in a series like this, and if BK Stars can do it, that will be most of the... They can just say, look, we're absolutely fine now. We overcame what is one of the most difficult ways to actually take a victory when we were feeling like it's almost not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with anything you've said. It's just a really unfortunate position now for BK Stars. All momentum against them. EnVyUs has been in the same situation and won. So Effect will still be on the Tracer. Taimu's flexing once again onto the Sombra. We've seen this already, this kind of style. Taimu going to be using this here with Harry Hook, once again flexing over to these soldiers. So very similar to what we saw on Hollywood. And obviously the first point of the 2-point capture is very similar in that way, so no surprise here.
Yeah, the quad DPS, pseudo quad DPS, hybrid utility type composition. We need Papa Smithy here. He's the guy that really likes coining these sweet phrases, Wolf, and I'm just not really quite working it out.
He's the phrase coiner, man.
He is the phrase coiner, so hasn't quite done it yet as Bunny's going to pop himself back.
Looking to try to take this turret out. It's just so difficult for a Tracer to bust a turret. They will eventually break through, though, with Carpe going up here as well as the turret went low. We're going to get several more picks. This comp, this defense for EnVyUs is kind of all in. If it falls apart, you can lose the point very quickly. And more picks coming out. The turret goes down once again. It looks like BK Stars will take control.
This attack has been super successful out of BK Stars. Haven't quite managed to actually cap the point just yet as Harry Hook's going to jump himself off the edge. And Bernard's going to take down Coco, so this should be the cap.
So really good coordination to actually identify the turret location, bust it down. Bunny and Carpe together to weaken it there before Mickey can heal it up. So now we're going to see EnVyUs switch to a more normal composition as that Torbjorn's only ever used on the first point. And it may look like a stomp here for BK Stars to start things off, but if you do break into that position, there's no real recovering for EnVyUs. They kind of just had to let that point go once they lose the turret several times. Don't get the Bolt 4.
Looking for the double kill, and it is going to find an effect. With that pulse bomb, gets both supports, and BK Stars back to the drawing board for a little while as Taimu's going to say, well, doesn't even matter, we're going to continue killing you. Bernard's going to jump himself off the edge, and Bunny is going to get bunted in the back of the head.
Let's watch this support assassination as well. Once again, coming from behind, perfect recall away. And notice how he just keeps firing just to make sure he's getting the kills right after the pulse bomb goes off. Does get found here, instantly recalls, and will use his blinks to get away. Carpe has the Dragon Blade, and they have 2 healing ultimates available to actually keep him alive if he wants to pop it. They've got a huge time bank, so maybe this is the time to just go ahead and commit to the first push, commit those ults. They don't have the self-destruct for the initiate, but they have everything else for the Dragon Blade. Oh, another pick here. This time for Bunny, though. This is the opportunity.
We got Transcendence and Sound Barrier coming out at exactly the same time as the Dragon Blade's utilized by Carpe. Harry Hook nowhere near that Transcendence, but he still doesn't find too much. Carpe able to take down Harry Hook in the end, but the self-destruct there from BK Stars. My God, this snowball push is looking great as they've taken control. Can they keep them off as the respawns come in?
He's trying to get in here. Does get taken out, though. It's going to be the second tick coming in. Mickey coming to try to delay, but this is just a trickling of heroes as picks after picks come out for BK Stars.
Mickey gets himself onto the point, but this is domination from BK Stars here at Hanamura. Taimu gets himself back up, but he has to run straight back to spawn. He's got attack visor there, and Effect is playing around on this point, but it's still ticking up.
Taimu just trying to desperately pop this. Will help get the pick here onto Bernard's mech. The bubble's just blocking him out, but they will actually get the respawns over, starting to get these kills. A close call for EnVyUs, but they do manage to bring it back.
Sweet Helix Rockets there onto Bunny as well as Taimu backs that one up with the kill onto Bernard, finishes off that little itty bitty diva.
So really good patience there by Taimu to not pop that tack visor too early, and got through that barrier, and Effect was able to sneak out to help do that extra damage. But I actually like the position BK Stars had there. I like that when they got that first pick with Bunny, they committed to all those ults. Because they have this large time pool, it's totally okay to have this kind of Hail Mary push and use everything.
And it's actually hard to get to the second tick as well on Hanamura. It's not unheard of to have full holds on the second point, if that's a thing that you can say, you know, like not being able to get one of these ticks. So defender's advantage.
Okay, they're going to go for another big push here because they had the ultimates built during that long push, so Carpe still has the Dragon Blade. He's actually being attacked here, of course, by Coco, but the Transcendent's going to keep him alive, wants to use the Dragon Blade right afterwards. Pulse Bomb goes in onto Mickey. He is going to drop out that self-destruct. Carpe's hiding behind this wall. Will he drop the Dragon Blade?
Tarpon's going to fall, and that is going to be a massive amount of kills coming out for EnVyUs now. I felt like they over front-loaded their investment in ultimates as BK Stars jumped onto the point. Carpe just dying with that Dragon Blade available, now completely out of sync with these support ults. As Alarm actually deciding to go for the switch. They want this Nano Blade.
That was actually all Mickey, which is why he's being shown here, and he's going to have a little highlight clip of his stream there, but he was able to get the self-destruct off, which stopped Carpe from popping his Dragon Blade at the exact proper moment. You could tell he was hiding behind that pillar, waiting for an opportunity, but it just never came. Oh, picked
Speaking
off
of
already.
opportunities, yeah, absolutely dead off to the side. And yeah, you're exactly right. And even able to grab the kill into Tarpon as well, who couldn't find safe ground.
Effect almost feels like he tricks his opponents into thinking he's one of the team. He's just back there like, hey guys, can I be one of you? And then he kills everybody, he betrays them. He's always in the back line, always finding extra damage, building up that pulse bomb.
Well, there's a grenade, flies through just to try and keep his team alive. Mickey going to lose that mech most likely on the side of EnVyUs, and he's going to be taken out. Carpe grabs that kill. Alarm as well. He's helping out with the mech kill.
Okay, they have several different opportunities here now with the Dragon Blade again. Sound Barrier coming up. Nano Blade used here onto Carpe, but he's not going to use the Dragon Blade just yet. He wants to hold on to it, perhaps, for that Sound Barrier. Here we go. Sound Barrier and the Dragon Blade together. This is their opportunity now, yet again.
All jumping onto this point, and they are able to get the last remaining tick. It was a good delay by EnVyUs after what was a phenomenal push very early on. But any sort of time bank is phenomenal on Hanamura. The success rate on this map is not high. BK Stars coming out swinging.
Mickey wanted to deny that there, having the near self-destruct once again to try to come in, but this time he didn't have it. So I feel like the way that BK Stars played that in terms of staggering their ults for Carpe, of course, was really well done. He had the Nano Boost on him, got a few picks, damaged several members, but wasn't going to commit all the way to the Dragon Blade until they knew that was the exact moment where they had those first two picks. They had the Sound Barrier come down to protect him, staggering the support ultimates there. So
yeah,
good coordination.
I liked it a lot. I also really liked the switch from Alarm. Of course, Alarm, formerly a tank player, switching to mainly Ana. The reason he switched to support is because he loved playing Ana. So you've been seeing him a lot on Zenyatta because he's required for a lot of these compositions, but Ana is his baby. Ana is the one that he wants to be playing, and he showed it. I mean, the nano boosts were good, shots were good, keeping his team alive. So we'll see what he can do as he just suicides off the edge. In fact, everyone just kill themselves.
Oh,
I think honoring Bernard on the Orisa.
Is this like next level where he's like, oh, okay, they're not going to run the Orisa, then only he doesn't jump off when they do run the Orisa?
Oh dear.
Well,
24 seconds to go though, as Bernard's saying, yeah, no, this is legit.
yeah, actually.
Oh, what they were doing was doing the reverse. So normally it's the Orisa that kills herself and then switches back, and so instead they're doing everybody else kills themselves.
That was tricky. I actually like how they played this here. Now, normally if the Orisa is used on a map like this, it's used with a Torbjorn, right, to protect the turret, or we see it with a Bastion. We saw Twinkle actually teasing that earlier. But in this case, it's going to be kind of anti-Reinhardt play potentially with the long clip that Orisa has to kind of eventually just burst through that shield. Unfortunately, though, it's not going to be a Reinhardt coming out for EnVyUs. They want to dive on this. And already, Orisa has been seen by Taimu, and he's looking for the kill.
Taimu actually hitting a lot of these shots, but Carpe is going to take down Effect. That is unfortunate. In fact, everyone backing off now.
Now they know what they're up
Taimu's going to
against.
switch things up. Yeah, exactly right.
It's
So
the
scouting mission for Effect successful.
It's a quad tank with the solo DPS for Carpe. Taimu wants to break this using hacks. Going to use the Sombra now to break this incredibly shielded position with Tarpon flexing onto the Reinhardt.
Well, Taimu certainly understanding exactly what he needs to do with barrier and the standing shield from Benaz Orisa. Does make a lot of sense.
Karim is doing his best to get top hero damage on these shields here. So they're going to get into this position, breaking now down those shields with the Sombra clip. The Sombra also a pretty long clip.
Oh, wow.
The shields are gone. Here's the pulse bomb.
Yeah, big pulse bomb comes in. The double kill on both supports. Everyone now getting ripped up on the side of BK Stars. It's only Carpe up, and he's going to die. That's the team wipe. That's going to be the first point going down almost as quickly as how BK Stars did it.
That's right. And, you know, Sombra has such a large clip, 60 shots, and does a decent amount of damage with those shots. She breaks down the shields, and everyone was so clumped up there because the Widowmaker play forced them to kind of back up a little bit into that little choke point. The second the shields go down, there's no protection, there's no Diva to eat the pulse bomb. Boom. That's where you see the double kill, the triple kill come out. And EnVyUs takes that point. Now they've got so much time bank to work with.
Well, they are going to invest the Transcendence into this push forward as well. As EnVyUs trying to get onto this point, Coco grabs the first kill onto Tarpon as Taimu is just unaddressed in this back line.
EMP.
Good sound barrier, but the EMP comes in, and they're going to have a sound barrier for themselves. That's another kill.
Starting to stagger these respawns quite a bit, and the hack is going to make this so much easier because it helps you stop these heroes from delaying.
Taimu, we thought he'd been practicing the Widowmaker. I think he may have been practicing the Sombra because it looked so good. We've got a nano-boosted Winston trying to clean up as Harry Hook's going to be his first victim, but they're trying to get staggered. This is so close to the cap with a massive time bank for EnVyUs. The self-destruct comes in, but EnVyUs still the ones getting the kills. Everyone's getting back in here from BK Stars, trying to get them off this point. In effect, looking to try and get this one working for them. He grabs at least the mech with the pulse bomb, and he's still picking up kills left, right, and center with the help of these Discord orbs, but BK Stars do manage to stop the assault.
Yeah, the hacks coming in from Taimu were really impressive. When you have hacks coming out, you obviously weaken the abilities of Genji, D.Va, Lucio, these heroes that are going to come in to look for the time buying. BK Stars, regardless, was still able to buy enough time for the respawns. Even though they respawn like 4 or 5 members, usually that's when the push ends. EnVyUs still almost made it work. And they're going to stick with this Sombra attack for now to look for the dive.
Well, they're right back onto this point. It is so close to getting that cap, getting into that overtime. As now Carpe throws back the Dragon Blade. Didn't quite get enough for it. Thought he was just pulling it out there because we didn't really see him collect too much. As Effect is going to grab the Pulse Bomb kill onto Bunny. Big EMP comes out, but it doesn't find Twinkle, who's still able to get that sound barrier working for BK Stars. Effect in here as well, but can't get through that Bionic Grenade healing.
Yeah, it looks like this may just be a reset because they got the hack on a Tarpon, which picked him before he could Primal Rage, but now he has it. Still doesn't even have to use it yet. Now using it here at the last second.
This
is
such
just
an
not able to get
extended
picks.
fight as Effect is able to get one pick. Mickey as well with another, but BK Stars keep piling in onto this point. Another Pulse Bomb, and that is just all too easy to take down Bernard. Taimu grabs the kill onto Twinkle as well. They do not have any support. And can they do it? They've done it. EnVyUs with the bigger time bank on Hanamura.
I mean, you put Taimu together with the amazing Tracer play from Effect, and you could target down heroes real fast. So instead of this tag team of these hyper-mobile assassins where you have the Sombra run in, disable the Winston, he can't use his Primal Rage, he gets taken off, can't drop a barrier for his teammates, the fight snowballs. By the time they get another reset for the defense with the respawns, another hack comes out, then the EMP comes out. You just see this constant aggression coming out from Taimu's Sombra, and really good targeting there, good focus fire. I just love to see things like watching Effect immediately knock the Div out and have the grenade ready just to make sure they can secure the kill, and Bernard doesn't get any more delay. So well done.
Just beautiful. Well, now BK Stars try and attack with 2 minutes on the clock. 4 minutes built up by EnVyUs. And it's making us look silly, honestly, Wolf, because we were talking about Hanamura as this map that is difficult to get. The, second point, everyone knows, we've all played solo queue, we understand that you're on Hanamura, you're like, first cap, yeah, we did it. And then second, it's like, oh god, it's just never gonna work.
Yeah, these extra rounds are pretty rare, in fact, on Hanamura, especially with time banks such as 357 and 213. Usually you see it with the overtime cap when we go to extra rounds here.
Yeah, I feel like it's overtime or it's like 6 minutes, because everyone's got those staggered kills on the first point and then rolled that over onto a very quick second take.
So already we're going to see the exact same comp here for EnVyUs. BK Stars did break it very easily last time. We'll see if they're able to do it again. Carpe again looking for the pick onto the turret.
Well, EnVyUs actually going for this Torbjorn composition once again.
Yeah. And, okay, they're going to make this push up onto the high ground to try to bust it down. Bunny
forced out actually by Effect.
Yeah. Okay, we're going to see this 1v1. A recall not available here for Bunny, in fact. He needs to get out. He nearly goes down. I think he might fall. It's a hacked health pack there. Okay, he just barely gets away. That was a close call.
Yeah, well, Taimu back on this Sombra once again. Feeling very good about it. Hacking everything.
Harry about to have the tack visor. Here's the nanoed Winston. That's going to be a pick already.
But Bunny's going to fall to Effect. Carpe did get that dash kill. Effect grabs a second one because his better half is gone and can't keep him in check. Taimu's going to answer with the kill onto Twinkle. So no supports available, and they are going to have to back away. Oh, good stagger.
And obviously the better time bank for EnVyUs 357. And they just haven't been able to get onto that turret. The turret this time wasn't as aggressively placed by Mickey, so they had to dive further, which is so difficult to do against the Sombra. This Taimu's going to hack you as you come around the side. You get stuck there and killed. Carpe is going to try to take the Widow approach to removing the turret or looking for picks away from it, but there's just not a whole lot of time left to make this happen.
And there's no long-range way to actually get in there. There's the Pulse Bomb. Going to get eaten very, very quickly. And Bunny's going to still fall to the hands of Taimu. That was some phenomenal reactions from Bernard.
That's a good diva right there. Bernard immediately reacting to that. Going to take Effect out as well. The bodyguard here. But still, with the pick already onto Bunny, just now respawn. They're going to have
only
one last
10 seconds
attempt.
to go, Wolf.
This is
BK
it.
Stars need to jump all onto the point right now as Taimu getting ready. He knows that they have to try and get this done. He's got the EMP, throws it down right on top of this point. 1 second, we're into overtime as BK Stars, that sound barrier got eaten so quickly. Harry Hook with the Helix rockets to take down Twinkle. EnVyUs just looking to try and clean up now. Look, everyone dying. The desperation from BK Stars was not enough. And that hold looked all too easy for EnVyUs.
Not the first time in this best of 5 we've seen Carpe flex onto the Widowmaker out of desperation. In this case, trying to deal with a different kind of Taimu in the Sombra, trying to help find that really conservatively placed turret from Mickey on the high ground on the second floor. It's a lot easier to break that Torbjorn position with the dive pop with the Tracer and the Genji. That's why there was such a huge time bank for BK Stars on the first round of Hanamura. We saw this attack, but this time with the more conservative placement and also the extra protection coming up from Taimu's hacking. Bunny going onto that roof, coming in from the backline flanks. Just looked a lot easier to run the Torbjorn when you have that kind of hyper-aggressive defense with the two DPSs that are so hyper-mobile. And the hacking is just, if you have the hack, then the D.Va can't go and absorb those turret shots. If the D.Va can't use D-Matrix, then you can't really commit to that push anymore, especially when the turret's that far back.
Especially when the D.Va has to be trying to save his backline from Effect coming in to kill everyone. I mean, that was a brilliant eat with the defense matrix on the
pulse
bomb in the backline. However, it barely even really matters because Effect's job has been done. If he can eat the time of Bernard, then they don't have that extra front line and they can't move forward as a team on the side of BK Stars. So damage being done, barely even matters. And you could see Effect actually sort of hanging around near the Torbjorn turret as well, almost baiting everyone to come in. That was a wondrous defense from EnVyUs, but now they need to try and attack. They need to break the lines of BK Stars. They've got about 4 minutes to do it.
Okay, so Taimu is going to be harassing, forcing everyone back, and that's when Effect is going to swing around to get the finishing blows on the weakened heroes from the Widowmaker.
Oh, knew exactly where Bunny was going.
You know it's a problem when the Widowmaker is trying to snipe the Tracer.
Yeah.
And not the other way around. They're stuck in this exact position they were in last time. We'll see if they can break the shields, and we see that Pulse Bomb go on again for effect. That's how they won this point last time. Very early on. Breaking the shields now is Mickey. In fact, doesn't have the Pulse Bomb just yet.
Yeah, Mickey actually going to get behind here as well. A lot of damage coming out, but no one actually falling just yet. Yeah, exactly right. Haven't got anything just yet as everyone's just ringing the bell.
Here's the Pulse Bomb.
Oh,
How many does he get? Doesn't get any this time.
Not going to find it. Chips is going to be able to pick off Bunny, though. This could be a big deal as he's only able to get the mech. Mickey still able to build up towards his mech one more time. We've got wall hacks coming out from Timo as Carpe is going to get booped off the edge by Harry Hook. There's the sleep as well onto the Winston.
And it was the Nano Visor as well, now completely denied. Such an important boop there. Really well done by Harry. Now Timo with free reign of this point.
EnVyUs just looking so good. They haven't got anything building up just yet, but these kills are coming out left, right, and center. Self-destruct takes down Coco, but I think that Effect will be able to finish off this last kill onto Bunny, and then they'll be able to start this one ticking up. Harry Hook gets another one onto Carpe, and that's the 3-0 for EnVyUs. They have solidified first place and made a statement here tonight.
They certainly have. They showed extreme flexibility in showing new compositions, the Sombra attack, the Sombra Tracer, the combinations with the EMP, Death Blossom. This team looks like it can run so many different playstyles. The only one we haven't seen is the super meta comp of the dive, but they have clearly shown they know how to deal with that. In terms of narrative today, it was going to be BK Stars looking for revenge, especially against Taimu's Widow. But at the end of the day, at the end of this series, they absolutely did not get it. This series ends just as the last one did, with Taimu getting the snipes to get that cap.
And I honestly feel like MVP for EnVyUs was Taimu that series. His Sombra was outstanding. His coordination with the rest of his team, his Widow, the amount of pressure he put on, even in that last attack was stunning. Like, normally we're just talking about Effect and saying, you know, Effect this, Effect that. He's so incredibly good. But this series, I felt like Bunny was doing well, trying to buy time and trying to create this Tracer battle to keep him occupied. And it meant the rest of EnVyUs had to step up, and my God, they did. I mean, Harry Hook as well, he needs massive props given because
it just shows EnVyUs' competitive history as a team. They've been around since the beginning. They're Apex champions. They're MLG champions. They've played overseas. Almost every player on this team played in the World Cup. This is a team that has really good history in terms of Overwatch, and they've run different compositions and different metas, brought out the triple tank again, even on Oasis. And with how good Bunny is right now, he's really the only piece of EnVyUs that doesn't flex. And with how good he is, it feels like he just simply will never need to. And EnVyUs with a dominant performance in this group. Most people looked at them as the weaker of the two Western teams, but in this group, they dominated. As soon as they got that win on Dorado against Meta Athena, they haven't dropped a map since. EnVyUs just such an incredible team, and it feels again like Season 1 Apex EnVyUs, where they were champions.
The thing that I think that people weren't really considering for EnVyUs was how well Effect was going to synergize with this team. Because everyone had questions. They were like, well, he's a Korean, doesn't speak a lot of English. How are they supposed to coordinate with this guy?